I want to make 10 mil in under 24 hours on a brand new free-to-play account. Now, we've all seen videos of money-making methods for members on fresh accounts, but most free-to-play players are left in the dark. They only have a fraction of the game to explore, and their options to make GP are pretty limited. So with my vast game knowledge, I'm going to be exploring the world of free-to-play and trying to make 10 million gold as fast as I can. First things first, with any brand new account, I need to head and grab my free 10k from the Stronghold of Security. Any new account can run through here and loot the chest to grab their GP. It's an amazing kickstart to any fresh account, and I'm going to be building off this 10k to make my first big cash stack. All right, boom, we now have our juicy 10k, so now I'm gonna go spend it. After grabbing my 10k and spending about 15 minutes, I realized there's one big roadblock that I'll need to overcome. Brand new free-to-play accounts cannot trade and they have limits on what they can do. This is to prevent botting, and hey, I totally get it, but those requirements would completely wreck the challenge. So I made another new account and headed through Tutorial Island. Once I was done, I found the only real way to bypass this is by bonding up the account. Kinda defeats the whole free-to-play purpose, but I'll be sticking to free-to-play methods and free-to-play worlds only. And with that account bonded up, I can head back and grab my 10k. Beautiful, we just completed the tutorial right of this bad boy. We probably did it in complete record time. Let's see our total time played. This is gonna be the most important part of the account. We need it to stay under 24 hours. We're at 5 minutes currently. So something we got to do real quick is actually log out and bond the account. Beautiful. We're now bonded up from this nice, beautiful man right here. Now that we're bonded up, ready to rock and roll, we're going to go ahead and redeem this bad boy. We're going to get our membership. Obviously, we're not going to play on members worlds. You just have to be a member to be able to bypass the trade limits. So that's what we're going to do. It's going to make us log out. We're log right back into World 301 and start making some money. All right, we're back and ready to rock and roll. First thing we're going to do is head over here to Count Check, and he's actually going to be able to send us directly to the Stronghold of Security. Now, if you guys are not, brand new to the game, you'll know that the Stronghold of Security is going to give us our 10k to start off with. At 10k, we're going to spiral that all the way to 10 mil in under 24 hours. It's going to be beautiful, but first we got to get all the way through here. We're going to do it in record time actually and get our 10k. Boom, got our first 2k. Boom, we got our 5k. And boom, we got our 10k. All right, with our 10k in hand, we're ready for our first money-making method. The first method I'm going to be doing is turning chocolate bars into chocolate dust. It's not fun, it's not pretty, but it pays the bills. And I just need a knife and some chocolate bars to get started. Doing this method at max efficiency, I can make around 200k GP per hour. But because I only have 10k to start, I need to watch margins and constantly buy and resell the dust. So I'm going to be doing it just for a little bit to make some decent starter cash. But it's not the only method I'm going to be doing to try to make my first white cash stack. I want to try various different methods and see how they all pan out. All right, so we got our first 398. We did eat a couple, but we did change that with the menu entry swapper. So we're not actually gonna be able to eat them now. We're gonna sell them for a little bit lower than what the price says. We'll sit in there, see how much these actually sell for. Once these sell, we'll be up to 15k. We'll just rinse and repeat until we have about 100k. It's gonna suck for a little bit. Once we get 100k, it's more money to play around with and more ways to make some GP. So I had around 40k in the bank, and I wanted to test out making yellow dyes in Draynor Village. This only requires 2 onions and 5 GP. Now normally you can make a decent amount of GP per hour doing this method, but because I can only buy so many onions at a time and have that long walk back to Varrock to restart, this method really isn't viable with my current cash stack size. Well, the yellow dyes are finished. Let's sell these bad boys. I don't know exactly what they're going to sell for. It says 285. We're going to check them a little bit lower just to see what we get. Looks like they sold for 278 each. So not too hot. I do have a little moneymaker up my sleeve we're actually going to go try out. So let's pop those in. Need all my GP though to really make some serious money here. Beautiful. So we got about 60k. We're gonna go try to make some money with it real quick. I'm going to be testing out making pastry dough. This just requires pots of flour and buckets of water. Mix them together and make pastry dough. This method is pretty relaxed and AFK. You just combine 9 at once, and that's a few moments of relaxation compared to the constant clicking of the chocolate bars. All right, so we got a nice little cheeky 300 of these little pastry doughs completed. Wasn't too bad. Was pretty chill actually compared to making the chocolate bars. I think anything would probably be better than chocolate bars. But what we're gonna do now is we're actually gonna buy some pie dishes. So we're gonna buy these bad boys. Looks like they're 154. Jeez Louise. I think we're obviously not gonna get about that many. It's about 70. See what we get them for, because we're then gonna combine these bad boys, get some pie shells. So they're slowly going to trickle in. Let's put them in for a little bit more just because I'm super impatient. Probably should just be chucking these in, but we need to make our GP as fast as possible. We need to get our levels up. So let's buy this many. Let's put it in for 160, which means we can only get about 40. 60. There we go. Let's see what those come in. So those aren't even coming in either. So we're just going to chill for a second, and that's going to be as simple as making those pie shells. These will sell for a pretty penny. Do y'all see that? 577. Those sell for a lot, a whole lot. Well, 551. We'll take that all the way to the bank, but we'll wait for these pie dishes to sell, rinse and repeat until we can make even more GP. So we spent a while making these pie dishes from the pastry doughs, and I'm going to be honest with you boys and girls, the price margins were pretty rough. You really have to play around with it. Sometimes you hit buy limits, you gotta wait. Sometimes things don't buy for what they say they're gonna buy. You really gotta pay attention. But what I did find was making the pastry doughs are pretty much always guaranteed money. You just make a little bit less, roughly about 200K per hour, but it's still a very decent starting method. But what I was doing is I was making the pastry doughs, then buying the pie shells when I could and combining them into the pie dish seems to work the best, and it helped me make a nice little bit of cash. Boom, we got our first 100K. That's actually huge for the account. Looking beautiful. We're actually going to buy a little bit more of the pie dishes so we can bang out those pastry doughs real quick. They're really expensive. I'm very, very, very surprised. They're selling for 200 each. Someone is straight merching these, but you know, it is free to play, so I'm going to have to make their money somehow. So it is what it is. Buy another 35 and we'll make a little bit more GP. Now that I have some starting cash, I need to level up a certain skill. I need to get level 25 magic for teleport to Varrock, as it unlocks the best free-to-play money-making method in the game. You might be asking yourself, why would I need that? I have the Chronicle unlock that teleports us directly to the Champion Guild. Well, I'll explain the importance a little bit later on, but for now, I'm going to be doing some quests to get some fast early magic XP. I have Witch's Potion and Imp Catcher to knock out. Both are super easy quests and should get me to level 10 magic. Now, while I was doing some of the quests, I had to buy an Eye of Newt. I noticed the shop sells wizard hats. It sells both black and blue for extremely cheap. And I know on the GE, they go for a lot more. So I spent about 30 minutes testing out how much GP I could actually make with this method. But the walk all the way back to the Draynor Village bank kind of ruins the potential profit. So I made around 75K doing this. But with those quests completed, I now have level 10 magic, and I've come up with a method that I can do to profit while I get level 25. It's not fun, it's not fast, but I won't be losing my very, very, very small cash stack, and I might actually make a little bit of GP. I'm going to be enchanting sapphire amulets into amulets of magic all the way to level 25. Boom, there we go, 25 magic. We can now cast the Varrock teleport spell. We're going to be doing that here in a little bit. I want to go ahead and sell these off and see how much GP we're at. Should be a nice juicy 229K. We're going to go ahead and buy just a couple law runes, some stuff to teleport around, a little bit easier. I know we have the Chronicle, so it kind of makes that a little bit moot, but it's still going to be a little bit better. Buy a fire staff. I want to see how much these actually buy first. We're actually going to run over to that shop. So 1512, and we're going to buy some air runes. Probably just buy a couple 100, nothing crazy. So in about 2.5-ish hours, we made about 200K, gotten 25 magic, pretty juicy. I want to run over here and see, I'm assuming he's out of stock. Oh, he's not. These sold for a lot, like a whole lot. These two I think are going to be pretty pennies. So I'm going to buy one. You know what? I'm going to risk this. I'm going to risk it because they're all the same. I'm going to buy all of these and let's go see how much they sell for. So the Staff of Airs sold pretty much right away for, looks to be about 1563. So made a little bit of money on those. Let's see what these sell for. Ooh, these were definitely a loss. Ooh, tough loss. Staff of Airs aren't really selling either. Kind of funny though, because when I was buying mine, it bought for super expensive. So it looks like they sold for pretty penny. It's like we're not actually losing him the money like I thought we were going to lose on those. The Staff of Airs though, Staff of Earth on the other hand. So we lost money on these, lost money on those, gained money on the Staff of Airs. So Staff of Airs seem to be what's really bringing in the dough. So I wonder, would it be worth it to hop worlds, or is every world going to be empty with Staff of Airs? Very, very good question, fellas. Let's see real quick, because I feel like it's gonna have a long restock time. But let's just hop through real quick. We'll do a couple rounds, do some worlds, and see what we can find. All right, so we pretty much got a full inventory. Now, obviously, we paid 1,500, roughly 1,515 for each one of these. They should sell for around, it says 1,645. We'll see what they actually sell for. If they sell for that, 1,515 each, 1,645, looking at a profit of 130 each. So not too shabby. I mean, it took me maybe 5 minutes to get this many, which is around a 3,000 profit. Multiply that by 12. You're looking at a decent amount. We'll see what they sell for. We're going to just chuck them in. It says 1,630. That's what people are buying them for. We'll chuck them in. Boom. Beautiful. Made about 2K. Nothing crazy. I did want to test out also, there's brown aprons. So it sells them for 2 GP, and apparently they sell for around 80, but they only has 1 in stock. So it's probably not going to be too hot. Also says the white apron and the blue skirt potentially as well. Pink skirt too, and also the red cape. So we're going to try all of these. We'll sell them and see what we can get. So the pink skirt actually sold for a pretty penny. Looks to be about 100 each. So that's really good. I don't think these are going to sell for much at all. Red capes don't sell very well either. So it looks like the pink skirt was the item to get. So we'll go back and try that again. Brown apron, not too hot. Let me just go ahead and abort both of these. Chuck them in for 1 each so I can free that spot up. Let's go try just doing pink skirts and see how much we can get for those. All right, so full inventory. Y'all saw me buy them. Let's see. We're going to chuck them in for 92 each. The insta sold. Not bad. They sold for 99 each. That's pretty good. That's actually really good. So 99 each. It's a profit of 97 GP every single time we buy them. I mean, I reckon we could get like around 2,000 to be completely honest, boys. It's around 200K an hour. Not too crazy. Now that I have level 25 magic, I now have access to the best free-to-play money-making method in the game. The teleport to Varrock is the first teleport you unlock that you can use in the wilderness, and I'm going to be using that teleport a lot. Yes, boys and girls, I'm headed to level 24 wilderness at the bandit camp. Inside the bandit camp is the bandit duty-free shop. This shop is amazing because you can sell items to the shop for the high alch price. If you guys didn't know, the second best current money-making method in free-to-play is high alching, but that requires 55 magic and nature runes. This shop completely bypasses all of that and allows you to make that nice juicy profit without losing any money on nature runes. But it does come with some big risk. With only 10 hit points, I can get one shot by a low-level magic pure casting wind bolt. If this happens, I will lose all of my progress so far. But that's not all. The items I'm going to be taking have extremely long buy limits. Most of them you can only purchase between 40 to 125 per 4 hours. So I'll need to find another money-making method while the items buy on the Grand Exchange. But first, let's test out the bandit camp and make a little bit of GP. All right, beautiful boys and girls. We do have our items that have bought. We're going to be doing some green d'hide and some rune plate legs. So nothing crazy. Obviously, we only had 200K, but as we get more money, we can obviously make more money. It's going to be pretty quick. We're going to get some swordfish too, some food, just in case there is a PK. We don't want to get one clapped. As long as we can teleport out fast enough, really shouldn't be an issue. I think 3 swordfish will be more than enough. I really don't see anyone even trying to PK us, but if they do, obviously, we need to be able to teleport out. And I think also getting an energy potion would be worth it if we can afford one. Yes, beautiful. All right, so this is going to be a little bit of a risk. Our 200K is now down to 900 GP. If we do die, we are losing a pretty fucking good penny. We are at the 2 hours and 31 minute mark. So what we're going to do is we're going to run all the way up here, to the bandit camp, which is located right here. It's about level 20 wilderness. So if there is a PK, we will have to run to about right here to get away. So it shouldn't be too crazy. Mother trucker, forgot you can't use this on free play worlds. So we're going to walk all the way around. So get to the camp, we will make some money. So here's the beautiful thing. We can sell these and they sell for the alch price. Obviously, you can only sell one at a time, and then you do need to hop. So we're going to be hopping through. Hopefully, we do not get PK'd. See how long this takes. All right, and we're out, and we made a pretty penny. The money's not going to be too good, so we get a fairly big cash stack, but we're just going to rinse and repeat, see how much money we can make. Now, after that successful trip, I needed to find some more items to buy, and there's a whole wiki page regarding the best items, but I found some of those are way over the GE price, so some of them are a little rough to get. You really have to play around with the margins and let things sit overnight, and as I get more GP on the account, this method will be amazing, but until then, I have another method that I'm going to be testing. But before I test out that next method, I need a little bit more GP, so I spent some time buying items and running to the bandit shop, as well as the tried and true pastry dough into the pie dish method. Both of these netted me a decent amount of GP to jump into our next venture. So with a little bit of GP in my pocket, I put some items up to buy on the GE. And while those are buying, I am going to be going and selling some items to the Archery shop in Remington. Now that we have a decent cash stack, I can finally buy large amounts of items to make it worth it. I'm going to be buying all different types of free-to-play bows and arrows to sell to the shop for a profit. I decided to start out with willow and maple longbows, and as well as some adamant arrows because they're so cheap. And once I got to the shop, I got to work. But hopping via the official client got real slow real fast. So I used some RuneLite plugins to make this 10 times easier. I set up the menu entry swapper in RuneLite to sell 5 at a time, which makes this go by extremely fast. You can sell 10 at a time, but you're looking at less profit and you might run through all the worlds before the shop stock goes back down. Speaking of worlds, world hopping got so much faster with the World Hopper plugin. Just press a key on your keyboard to insta hop to the next world. This was huge and puts this method into the next level. Okay, so that's a lot done, like a whole lot. I'm not going to finish out these willow longbows because there's actually a lot of people doing this method. So you have to really check. Then I don't feel like just doing just 34. It's not really worth it just for that. So we made a pretty penny. I would say we made at least probably like 100K or so when we first started, because I don't believe what we paid for those was anywhere near 300K. Bank should be looking pretty fat. I'm honestly just going to keep doing that. I mean, that's just such an amazing moneymaker that I don't know why you would want to do anything else, at least in free to play, until we get a larger cash stack. I think doing that all the way into about $1 million, and then we can actually start investing into a lot of those big rune items and going into the wilderness shop. I think it's going to be our game plan. So let's go dump everything, buy a fat stack of bows, and keep it running. All right, boys and girls, we got a fat stack. All of this is a roughly 645K. Obviously we have this little cash stack here. So we got about 700K right now. We're at about pretty much 5 hours. We got about 700K. I'm pretty sure we can turn this into roughly $1 million. So we're gonna go see how fast we can turn this into $1 million. And then when we get back, we're gonna be buying a bunch of rune items and going into the wilderness. All right, boys, this is going to be the last world. There was people doing this, so this is pretty packed. So we have to hop a whole lot, but we are finished. We just have the adamant arrows left, nothing too fancy. We're at 5 hours and 20 minutes. Holy shit. So like in all, I mean, that took us about 30 minutes. And I mean, we didn't double the money, but we made about 400K. So pretty juicy. We're at around $1 million now. So we're going to teleport back. And boys and girls, I think this may be enough money to go into the wilderness and actually make a substantial profit. It is a little late for me, so I'm actually going to put in some buy offers and leave them in overnight. And then in the morning, hopefully wake up pretty early where there's no little PKers on and go out to the wilderness and make some insane money. All right, so I just went ahead and bought some green d'hide bodies, some rune daggers, and we're looking good. So all of this is, I think, roughly 900K or so. Yeah, roughly 939K. Obviously, we have a little bit more GP, so we're at 953K. We're going to see how much we can make and how long it's going to take. I don't think it's going to take too long at all. Let me grab, obviously, we have our nice, juicy teleport runes. We also are going to take 2 energy potions, not all of them, just 2. And the rest is all going to be swordfish. Let's see what we're risking. 946K. We actually can get one tap. If someone has like a low level mage account, they can just one tap us. So it's a little spooky, but our playtime is 5 hours, 25 minutes. Probably going to be exactly 5 hours and 30 minutes when we do arrive at the shop. So we're going to see how much we can make. Hopefully we make a pretty penny. All right, boys and girls, that's it. That's done. So we're at 5 hours and 44 minutes. So roughly 15-ish minutes. And we made about 200K in 15 minutes, which makes this roughly 600K an hour. Now I don't have a lot of items, so if I had more items, obviously we would make more money per hour. We could just stay here and keep banging it out. And there are some more items that I want to play around with. The only bad thing about this method is a lot of the items have low buy limits. So you have to buy a lot of them overnight to really be able to make a lot of money really quickly. So what we're going to do actually is we're going to go back to the archery shop and just pretty much grind that out. More or less, whatever you spend in the archery shop, it kind of like doubles your money. So we're going to probably go until we have like 2 to 3 mil and then try to find another method and see if we can use that 2 or 3 mil and spiral that up into even more money. All right, we did a little bit of shopping, is now done. We are now at 6 hours and 20 minutes. So that took a pretty penny. I did want to try buying some thread because apparently it sells for 8 each and you can buy it from the shop for 1 each. So apparently that's a pretty good method. But let's see if these actually sell. They're probably going to sell for 6. Still make a little bit of money, and these sell for a lot. Oh my gosh. The needles actually probably made more than those. Oh yeah. So in about 1.3 mil, not too shabby. We do have some more things. I'm gonna go put some more buy offers in things that we can actually sell in that wilderness shop. So we're gonna try that out, put a whole bunch in and see how much money we can make. All right, we're back with some new items and we'll see what we can do. I want to try these rune plate body tees. They seemed pretty cheap for what they high alch for. So it should be pretty good. Other than that, we just got some rune swords, rune axes, and green d'hide body. Now all these give more profit per item, but you need more GP. I pretty much spent literally every cent I had on these, so it's gonna be fun. Let's go ahead and set these up to sell 1. Now obviously you can sell 3 and you can go a little bit quicker, but you don't make as much per item. So we're just gonna do this, boom. So 63,000, no way. No way, we're barely, well I didn't actually buy them for that. So I bought them a little bit cheaper, but holy moly, we're not actually making that much per, are we? We'll find out. All right, so I thought of a really good item I'm going to start trying is gold bars and gold necklaces and gold rings, because they don't have a really, I mean, there's no way we're going to do 18,000 in 4 hours. So I'm going to try 1,000 of each, see what we can get. So it should be pretty good. They don't give as much profit per item, but they're still like 100 GP per, and we can sell 3 and hop super, super quick. So I'm going to try these gold rings as well. Let's do 130 for those. Try 1,000 of all of these. So essentially, this we can sell 3 at a time. So this is 300K, about 350K, should be able to turn into about 700K. It might take a little bit. We're also just gonna go ahead and chuck the rest and do other items, see what else we can get. All right, so we got some offers in for ruby rings, diamond rings. When those finish, we'll be fully stocked with a buttload of jewelry and stuff to go sell. It's looking like it's gonna be about 2.1 mil-ish that we should be able to turn into about 2.8 mil. Now we are at 7 hours and 20 minutes. It's probably gonna take a good 30 minutes to do all that, but we'll make a very, very, very decent profit doing so. And then by the time that's up, our 4 hours, we'll be able to start buying some of these other items, these classic items that have been pretty good so far. So we're gonna log out, chill, log back in when these buy, and yeah, we'll be back. All right, boys and girls, we're here. We got our items. We're gonna see how much one inventory sells for. So let's do a little test. I think it's gonna take way too long to sell them 1 at a time. So we're gonna sell them 3 at a time. Shouldn't be too bad. We may actually do 5 at a time too. I'm gonna test this first, see what we get. So we should get more than 14,500. Let's test that out real quick. All right, so definitely more than 14,500. So about 1,500 GP every single time we do that. Obviously, we're gonna have a lot of hops to go, but it should be pretty easy peasy. Let's get it done. And this should be it. It's the last little bit. Got 2.2 million gold. It took us about 20 minutes, so not too bad at all. All right, boys and girls, we're geared up. We're ready to rock and roll. This is gonna be a doozy. We can sell all these for sell 5, but all of this is worth a pretty penny. It's roughly 2 mil. So pretty much our whole bank, we're gonna run in here. I believe it all should sell for about 2.5, 2.4 mil. It's a nice little cheeky 400K. And because they're actually worth something decent, we can do this relatively fast. Obviously, we're selling 5 at a time. So realistically, we only have to hop a max of 100 times. And that's for the steel plate bodies. We may not do all 500 steel plate bodies. We'll probably just do 375. I try to keep everything pretty similar. So we'll do probably 375. Obviously, if we're just hopping, obviously if we're selling 5, we don't have to hop that many times. Quick little calculation. We're gonna have to hop about 75 times. So not too crazy crazy, at least not as crazy as it has been with the gold bars and the jewelry. So this one should be a whole lot better. It is fucking peak Saturday night, which I'm a little worried about. Now, we haven't gotten PK'd yet, obviously, or pretty much the series would die if we got PK'd, because pretty much been risking our whole bank the whole time we go. But I also haven't seen anyone in my combat bracket. So essentially anyone can attack me that's up to a level, I think it's 32 once I hit that wilderness, and pretty much everyone's like 50s and 60s. So I think with our combat level only being 14, we're pretty safe from most PKers. Now I'll say that and then we're gonna end up getting PK'd. But anyways, boys, we're gonna run through these super quick, make some insane money. Just wanna go ahead and say we are at 8 hours and 2 minutes. So when I finish, we'll see how much time we spent and how much money we've made. All right, boys and girls, real quick. So we made 33 from selling 5. So if we put in here how many 5 actually is, means we're profiting, holy shit. So per world hop, we're gonna be profiting almost 8K, 7.5K every single time we hop. So, I mean, as you all can tell, it's super quick to hop. You can set it up on your hotkeys. Boom. I just press the letter Q. I hop, and it takes about 10 to 15 seconds to hop world. Boom. We hop over here. Boom, 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 and boom. Hop again. Super duper quick. So we're about to make a lot of money real quick. This probably is not going to take more than, I'd say 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes tops, and we're going to make a fat amount of money. All right, boys, so we sold a majority of our items. We got some mithril long swords and some steel plate bodies left. But listen, homies, I want to show you all, we've been going for, I mean, what, 10 minutes? Let's say 15 minutes. Y'all saw how much we came with. We came with around 2 mil. Y'all saw it, but we have now 2.5 mil. So essentially, we made almost 500K profit, straight profit in about 10 minutes. So this is absolutely busted. Now, the one caveat to this is, boys, I probably spent 8 hours, which you could do overnight, buying all these items. They take a really, really long time to buy, and sometimes you have to play with the prices. They don't always buy exactly when you want to buy them, how much you want to buy them for. A little bit of a pain in the ass. I totally get it. But, you know, if you guys put these offers in before you go to bed, wake up the next day, do this, rinse and repeat, I mean, you can make a lot of money really fast, as you all just saw. So what I'm going to do now is go back and we're going to flip all of this into the archery store. You guys remember that archery store in Remington? Yeah, we're going back. We're going to go knock that out real quick. I think we could put about 2.5 mil in. Should be able to leave with about 3 million gold, and then we can flip that 3 mil overnight into, I mean, boys, we could probably make it into 4 mil with just a couple hours of playtime added on. It's looking more and more likely that we're actually gonna hit that 10 mil in 24 hours. We're at 8 hours right now. We have about 2.5 mil. I know it doesn't look like it, but the money just rolls, because the more money you have, the better items you can buy, better items you can sell. It gets really fast the more money you have, as you all can see. You know, we were making what, 50K an hour, then 100K an hour, then 300K an hour. Now we're making 500K in roughly 15 minutes. I mean, boys, do the math on that. 500K times 4, that's over 2 million GP per hour as a free-to-play player. So what we're gonna do now, head back to GE real quick, and we'll buy some maple longbows, all that good stuff, and go back to the archery store. All right, boys and girls, so I just want to give a little tip. So once you start getting like a lot of bows, like I'm talking a lot of bows like what we have here, it's actually better to sell 10 than sell 5, because you can get through them a whole lot quicker. If we were doing sell 5, boys, it's gonna be over 800 hops, whereas we do it this way, it's gonna be 400 hops. So you still make a pretty good penny. And mainly we're doing this so our buy limits can reset. So we're doing this while we wait for our buy limits. Once the buy limits reset, we're just going to start putting more items in, and then we're going to go to bed. So we're just going to rinse and repeat these. I think we definitely are going to hit the 10 mil before the 24 hours, but I have one more money making method up my sleeve that I want to try out besides these two. These two are looking to be number one. I don't think anything else can really beat these. But that being said, there are some other things I want to try. So we're going to finish this up and we'll go on to the next method. And with this last sell, we now have 3.1, pretty much 3.2 million GP. Boys and girls, we have been rolling, absolutely rolling. It's been great. It's been a little bit, about 40 minutes, but we have some items that have bought, so we're gonna go over to the GE, collect those, and then go out to the wilderness. All right, boys and girls, so we're done selling bows. We have a whole bunch of arrows left. We're probably just gonna hold on to these for a little bit, about 21K, nothing crazy. But yeah, we made 3.1. We're at 3.1 million. We're at 9 hours. So that took roughly 30 minutes, 40 minutes to sell all that, but we made a pretty penny. Now it is getting pretty late where I'm at, so I'm gonna go ahead and chuck you in a whole bunch of offers with this 3.1 mil, and then when we wake up, we're going back into the wilderness and making more money. We're just gonna rinse and repeat. I really don't think there's a better way to get to 10 mil. I think it's gonna be the best ways. We have roughly 14 and a half hours left, I would say. So nothing crazy, 14 and a half hours to make 7 mil. That's roughly 500K an hour. Totally doable with the methods that we have unlocked. So let's buy some items and go make some money. All right, boys and girls, this is the next day. Everything is bought, and we have a lot. But I did want to price check this real quick because we're sitting at a pretty penny. I believe this is roughly 3.2 mil. It's the most we've taken into the wilderness so far. Yeah, 3.2 mil. I do believe this should sell for around 3.8, maybe 4 mil if we get a little bit lucky. We are at 9 hours and 11 minutes, so we're gonna make our journey, sell our items, and make some juicy money. All right, boys and girls, so before we do our first one, we're gonna see how much the GE price is. Holy motherfuck, 33K. So we make essentially 12K every single time we hop. This is about to be crazy. All right, boys and girls, so we made our money. We're at 3.9 million GP, and as you can tell, it took about 30 minutes. Now, we have a lot left over. I just don't really think it's hopping just for these 3 items. We're just going to hold on to these, go buy some more of the other items, and just keep chilling. But we're at 4.5 mil in total, so essentially we turned 3.2 into 4.5. I mean, boys, that's almost 2 mil GP per hour. Kind of fucking crazy. So this is the free-to-play money-making method. We're gonna rinse and repeat. We'll see y'all at 10 mil. All right, this should be the last world hop that we're doing. We've made a pretty penny, boys. Just money in the bank every single time. There's a lot of PKers, but they're all way too high level. So we got 6.4 million GP. Took about 30 minutes. I'm assuming we made a decent amount. We got 6.5 million. Just curious, how much is a bond right now? We could probably see another couple 100K. We could actually afford a bond, but we're gonna go all the way to 10 mil. Boys, we still got pretty much 13 hours left. We only need to make 3.5 mil. So let's get on it. All right, this will be the last hop. We've been doing this for like the past hour, just kind of hopping through the worlds, get 10 of each, open these bad boys, hop to the next world. Pretty easy. You actually make 1 GP profit per. So we're looking at about 300K per hour doing this. It is super click intensive, but we were just pretty much waiting for all of our items to buy so we can go back to the wilderness camp. I wanted to try a couple different methods. This is one, it seems okay. You don't actually need a lot of starter cash because you can buy the packs for I think 200 and 300 each respectively. Then we're going to sell the bait for 4 each, sell the feathers for 3 each. The only real downside of this method is they do take a long time to sell. So like if you're going to go to bed or something, pop these bad boys in and you will make some juicy money overnight. All right, boys, we got a decent amount of items. I wanted to try some other things that don't really have a buy limit here. So we could theoretically just rotate through these items essentially non-stop. So that's these diamond necklaces, ruby necklaces, gold bars, and gold rings, and adamant arrows. None of these have a buy limit. And each time you sell them, you make a pretty decent profit. I think the adamants are making like, 50 to 100 GP, about 100 GP per diamond necklace, 100 GP per gold ring, 100 GP per ruby necklace, and a couple GP, I think it's like 50 or 60 per gold bar. Doesn't seem like a lot, but when you're hopping super quick and you're going through, a couple, probably 400 or 500 per hour, if not more than that. I mean, it stacks up. You're probably making at least 200 to 300K just on these. So I was thinking I'll do these while I'm waiting for these other items that make a whole lot more to buy. So that way you can pretty much do this nonstop. And you can try that out, see how it works out. And yeah, we're almost at 12 hours. We have about 7 mil in the bank. So we got 3 mil more to make. Obviously, I'm betting we're going to get done at about 15 hours played. That's kind of my goal so far, which, we're making pretty good money. If we played 15 hours, made 10 mil, pretty good. Can't complain at all. I will note that, boys, this is risky. We could have died at any point, lost all of our GP, we'd be out a whole bunch. So that is the one caveat to this method. Now I will say I haven't seen many PKers at my level. There are PKers if you are a higher level, but you know, if you guys are just following this along, you're not gonna run into many PKers. So we're making a pretty good profit. We're gonna keep rolling these. Someone else selling gold rings, so that means it's a good item to sell. So we're gonna keep this rolling, baby. And that's it. That's the final fucking trip. Been fun sitting here selling. There actually was a couple PKers today. Obviously they're not attacking me, but they're out here, boys and girls. So just know that if you're doing this. But this was my largest trip ever. We took, I think it was like 5.2 mil worth of items. It was fat. They would have got some fat, juicy loot, but luckily they're just not attacking us. There's just no way. So boys, we are rolling in dough. We're now at 7.1 million. GP 7.5 mil. We actually can go ahead and buy a bond. We're not going to because we got to get all the way to 10 mil. We only need 2.2 million GP left. So let's go make that money. All right, so we got a bunch of maple longbows and maple shortbows to buy. These are the best bows you can really sell. Now there are also willow shortbows and willow longbows. Now the willow shortbows, they're not really coming in. And the willow longbows, you don't really make that much money on them. So what we're gonna do here real quick is we're gonna buy some willow short bows for a little bit more. Just, holy motherfuck, they going for 135. See, that's the problem, is people are catching on to this method and they don't even sell. So a willow short bow sells to the shop at 130, so you're not even gonna be making money on that. So we're gonna leave those alone. We're gonna run over to that little dude's shop with what we got. We're also, while our buy slots are all empty, we're actually gonna go ahead and punch in some green dragon, some green d'hide bodies. See if we can get them for a little cheap. Yes, we probably can. We'll do 25, put in 125 of those bad boys. Actually, we can do a little bit. We're going to double that because we're going to be over here selling these for quite a while. And then we're also going to put into my favorite is the steel plate body. I think this just makes you so much money at that bandit shop. It's actually kind of crazy, to be completely honest with you boys. Put in there for 250, and we're gonna let that chill. We're gonna run over here to Remington and make some money. We should make a absolute pretty penny. The only real downside is this is gonna take quite a bit of time. It's about 5 mil. We should actually leave with about 6 mil, maybe 6.5 mil, really depends. We are almost at that 13-hour mark, but boys, we're like a little bit over halfway and we already have 8 mil, so it's actually just easy peasy. I'm gonna go ahead and teleport down there and make some money. All right, we're at about the halfway mark, or we're literally pretty much the halfway mark, and it's been about an hour and we got about 3.2 mil, which means flipping through this going pretty goddamn fast. It's about 500 to 600K an hour. So obviously probably one of the better methods available to free play players. Obviously not the best. The best is obviously what we've been doing with the duty camp out in the wilderness, but that, you know, obviously involves some risk. Also involves having to spend literal days buying items overnight on the Grand Exchange. Not the best if you're trying to really make some money really quick. I'd say this probably is the best once you build a decent cash stack up. So we're going to continue. I think from these 2 hours, we should make like 1.4, 1.5 mil. So we're going to do that and get back to the GE. All right, boys and girls, this took quite a long time. The worlds are really starting to get packed, though. Most people are only selling the willow and the maple longbows. So it did take quite a while. Let's look at the time. We're now at 14, pretty much 15 hours. It took roughly 3 hours, like 2.5, just because we had to hop around so much. We had to wait. At one point I was doing it during like non-peak hours and it's not too bad. But if you're playing anywhere where it's like peak hours, it's getting pretty rough to do this method. Although, as you can tell, we still made a pretty penny. I think we left with like 5.1, 5.2 mil. And we have 6.3 million GP now in the inventory. And then also, let's go ahead and check our bank. We should have, yes, we are at 7.7 mil, but that's not the real juicy part. The real juicy part is all of this is pretty much bought. So we're gonna put some more buy offers in and then head out to the wilderness. And I do believe, boys and girls, I do believe that this might be, oh, it's so close. It is so close. We need another 800K. So we sell all this, buy a few more little juicy items, go sell. We probably gonna be at that 10 mil. I'm predicting 16 hours. 16 hours, 10 mil, pretty fucking juicy. All right, boys and girls, we got a whole bunch of items that bought and we're ready to rock and roll. We're gonna go out to the wilderness. I think we might have to do it one more time. I don't believe this is exactly gonna be 10 million GP because the items we're leaving with, the buy limits are taking quite a long time. So I was like, man, I'm gonna run out here with what I got. Got some more items that are buying. This is about 2.3 million. We had some of the things bought a little bit over. So like, I'd say it's about 2.45 mil, and we'll see what we can turn it into. Hopefully the wilderness isn't too popping. I know on the members worlds, the wilderness is pretty crazy right now, but hopefully, you know, because we're on a dirty free-to-play world, it's not going to be too bad at all. The time played is currently 14 hours and 50 minutes. Probably going to hit 15. I'm assuming about 15:30 we'll be completely done selling all these items. Fingers crossed that we make it over the threshold. And that trip is now completed. Let's teleport out and go buy some more items. I don't believe we've hit that magic 10 mil yet for that beautiful green cash stack. Let's see. The hell on out of there. Ooh, 26 magic. God, we've teleported a decent amount. Ooh, that's not too hot. We're now level 15. Feel how close we are. We just need a little bit more, just a little bit more, and we will have enough. Let's just see real quick. If we abort all of these, collected in cash, we're at 9.1 million GP, boys and girls. We just need a little cheeky 700K. Let's go get it. All right, it looks like our last couple of items have bought. The mithril plate legs, not coming in too hot, but it's fine. It's all going to be fine because we decided to be a big boy and we're going to be doing some rune items. As you guys can see, we have some rune full helms, rune chain bodies, and rune pickaxes. Now, I just want to get 10 mil as fast as possible. Probably not actually the best because we are going to have to sell all of these rune items one by one, which is perfectly fine because we have a little bit more of the other ones. Not a huge deal, but the rune items do come with a lot of risk. Just these two are 3.5 mil. Obviously we die, it's all gone. So that is something to be wary of. We have to sell all these for 1, then we can sell all of everything else for 5, make a nice juicy profit. And boys and girls, after this trip, we should be at that 10 mil mark. So let's go get it done. And with this final sell, this will be it. Boom. That should complete the series, boys and girls. Let's go to the bank and check it out. Oh shit, we forgot our runes. Then we brought a lot of run energy. A little spooky running through the wilderness with 7.5 mil and being completely one-hittable by pretty much any PK at my level. Wouldn't be too good. It's so close. It is absolutely so close. We're just gonna go sell these real quick, and boys and girls, that should be it. Give me my money, boys and girls. Boom, we now have our 10 million GP. Started from 10K, started from nothing, rags to riches. Here we are at 15 hours and 51 minutes. Boys and girls, it has been a journey. It has been a long journey. It's been a little bit more than 15 hours and 51 minutes, mainly because of the buy limits, but you know, we actually only really played 15 hours. You know, a lot of you guys have jobs, responsibilities outside of playing the game all day. So my methods were actually perfect for you all because most of the time you could only actually log on and sell things for maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours, maybe 3 hours at a time, put your offers back in and log right back out. So I don't really know where to take this account. We now have 10 million on it. And you know, I was going to end it here, but I've come up with kind of an idea. We can actually grab a bond and keep this rolling. We can build an account from complete scratch. Now, you know, we've done that with Noob No More, but that was just being optimal, playing, you know, as little as possible. We can actually grind out some crazy things. If you guys are interested in that, drop a comment down below. And as always, I will see you all in the next video.